The weekend saw Los Angeles erupt once more, again in violent protest, as Immigration and Customs Enforcement conducted raids in Southern California, arresting over 40 individuals on Friday suspected of immigration violations. Here to provide us with the latest on the riots in Los Angeles is Anthony Cabassa, who is an independent journalist on the ground currently covering the chaos there in Los Angeles. Anthony, welcome to Washington Watch. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
All right, give us your perspective of what you saw there on the ground in Los Angeles.
Yeah, so everything began to unfold last Friday, where I was hearing that there was going to be scheduled protests in front of the federal building, which is an immigration detention center in downtown Los Angeles. This is, by the way, almost a full day before Donald Trump had mentioned that any mention of National Guard being activated. So right now there's a lot of misinformation happening at the state level that National Guard kind of incited these protests, but that's just not the reality. I've been there since Friday when the protests first started, and what they were protesting was these ICE raids that were happening to detain all these violent criminals that have been detained since then. So Friday, it just escalated in downtown LA. What I witnessed was DHS agents being assaulted by protesters. They were literally taking hammers to cement so they can break it down into small cement rocks, and they were launching it at DHS. So the National Guard, speak of it, actually came as a result of that footage going nationally viral of DHS agents under attack in Los Angeles.
Did you speak with any of the protesters?
Yeah, what I tend to do is I try to get a feel of what brings people out here. And so when I got to talk to some of the protesters, some of them are there because they're just anti-government. They don't necessarily recognize law enforcement. They're not too fond of them. Typically, from what I understand, these individuals, these are people that have perhaps previously been detained or incarcerated. So already they have a negative notion of law enforcement. So any opportunity to go and protest law enforcement, they take that opportunity. But there are some that have had family members that are either being detained or might be targeted in future raids. And so their concern is, that there might be federal overreach, and they're looking on the local government, especially local mayor Karen Bass, to take action to stop this from happening.
Was there any sense, Anthony, that it was organized and who might have been behind it?
Oh, yes. These protests are definitely very organized. Some of the organizations that were putting this together are PSL, the Party of Socialism and Liberation, also DSA, Los Angeles, which is a Democratic Socialist of America, and then SEIU was also here. That is a large labor union of workers. These are teachers. These are union leaders, labor leaders in Los Angeles. A lot of them, immigrants themselves or family to immigrant families that are here in Los Angeles, and so they've become activists in style in organizing and mobilizing. There's actually 2 scheduled protests today by SEIU members, as one of the labor leader unions, David Huerta, has been detained by ICE.
So the final question for you, Anthony, and I appreciate you joining us today. Any sense that maybe this had been pre-planned, just waiting for the moment to call people out to protest, knowing that the Trump administration is moving to enforce immigration law?
Oh, absolutely. There have been statements even by Governor Gavin Newsom and City Mayor Karen Bass saying that, they were aware and are monitoring the ICE raids that had been begun months ago, and that they were reminding people of California they don't need to worry because, we are a sanctuary state. We have sanctuary cities. They will do everything in their power to make sure that the immigrant community is protected. That includes undocumented legal migrants as well. You got to remember that we have a state budget deficit because in California, money is going to pay for illegal alien health care. And so Democrats for decades have been promising to protect migrant rights here in California. And now their back is kind of against the wall because now the federal government is here. They're raiding and collecting these violent criminals that they promised through, and that's why Donald Trump got elected in 2024, was because he promised that this would happen. And now the federal agents are here. They're collecting. And of course, the state and local government is being held accountable by protesters and labor union organizers.
Anthony Cabassa, thanks so much for taking time to join us today. Appreciate your report.